Hi guys. Yeah, let me meet everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene. I was just watching another stream on another channel, getting awfully confused. And so I don't understand what they're talking about, but they're obviously we're talking about somebody else. I wanted to kind of give you all a general status of my show, my situation, which is stable. No one's compared to the other person in that stream, whatever was going on, what $1,300 hotel room and on Jmac Oregon's PSA stream. I have no idea what that's about. If anyone knows, please tell me. I am totally confused. I came in there, said hi, and the next thing you know, what I'm hearing that they're talking about somebody who's taking advantage of the people, $1,300 hotel rooms, and blah 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 blah, which isn't me, right? I don't know what's going on with that. So, I was thinking about making this a video or making another live stream, and I said it's not enough for a live stream because it's not really a regular live stream. It isn't. If I made it into a live stream right now, it would be kind of like a 2-hour thing. Yeah, something like 2 hours. So I'll just make a video out of this. So I don't know what Jmac Oregon's PSA live stream is about. I will post it in the description below. I have no idea what it's about at all. Zip. Okay. But let me tell you. That I have I sure used a lot of data this month. All right, so let's talk about my situation because I don't know nothing about that one. But so here we go. Number one, right now I am not in risk of being evicted. There is not a real eviction notice. Okay, not gonna happen. Assuming, and this is very important, that I pay what is right or what is correctly owed for rent. Which should be probably no problem, but it is a bit of a high amount, and maybe I can negotiate down to what I consider reasonable for the time being. $900 a month is doable. $1,000 is high. Okay. It can be done, but I don't know how long it could be done now. Because, I have other expenses to pay. I mean, I'm certainly not dirt broke. I mean, I'm not rich, but I'm not dirt broke because I do got some money coming in from the advertising and stuff like that. But I was talking to somebody else off the show in a private conversation, and we discussed. She said, "You've been there for 17 years." She says, "It's not just a rental to you, is it?" She said, "I don't think it's just a rental." I said, "No, I've been here 17 years. I lived in a whole lot of different apartments 17 years ago. And I chose this apartment because, one, the energies felt good. People don't realize that. People, when you live someplace for 17 years, that's going to say something. And it's maybe not just because you can afford it, because I have seen rents go cheaper. I could have gotten a cheaper place. I have seen offers come up over and over again and turn them down over and over again. And let me explain that. Why would I do that? When I came here, I came in with a very specific list of needs and wants. Even then, I said, I need a tub that's going to be easy for me to get in and out of. I'm going to need something that is going to make it possible for me to get myself out of the tub if I ever have problems with my hips. I already was starting to have problems back then. Okay? And I grew up in a house, and in an old house, it was a rental house too, where we had the bathtub like we have now. and the basic bare bones kitchen that we have now. And so for me, this apartment felt like something from my childhood. So, plus it was also conveniently downtown, so I could get things I needed, like get to the store and things like that. And so 17 years ago, I came in here. I lived in 2 different apartments in this building. Apartment 6, which later became Ed's apartment, and this one. Apartment 6 didn't feel right. It didn't gel with my spirit. Okay? Then I saw this place. And the rugs that were here. Yes, there used to be oriental rugs in all the rooms. Unfortunately, because of fleas and stuff, we got rid of the rugs. Okay? But the rugs were just kind of a frosting on a cake. Okay? And it had positive vibrations, and I said, I want this place. At the time, it was $700 a month. Right? This is 17 years ago now. Keep this in mind, guys. 17 years ago. He said, $1,700. I'll work with you on security deposit. Last month, move in. You're all set. You got a place to go. But I knew I had to give up Section 8 and I would have to reapply because Winston was not taking transfers from Torrington. I said, okay, because the fact is, I had just earned from my father's retroactive amount as a disabled adult child. And so I paid the first month, last month in security, and then he needed some help with back taxes, and for the amount I paid for a whole year's rent up front because he could pay the back taxes on the property. So for 1 whole year, I didn't have to pay rent at all. Zip. Okay? Because I paid it already up front. It's one big chunk. Must have been a pretty good deal. I've been here for 17 years. I think that says something. 17 years is a heck of a long time to live in a place. So for me, this is not just a place that's cheap, hole in the wall, and I really don't have any emotions attached to it. It's a part of my soul, honestly. And it's part of who I am, and it's in a location that has a lot of spiritual power. And also, I had a lot of good times here. So, for me, this is why I am fighting to make sure I keep it. It's my longest apartment. The good news is I'm not being evicted. Like I said, I'm not being thrown out. As long as I can pay my rent on time. Which, as I said, $1,000 a month might be a little hard, but maybe I can give them to go down a little bit. Just go down 100, Jimmy. We'll talk about it. Of course, I understand from his point of view as a landlord is, look, Michelle, my insurance is going up. My taxes are going up. It's costing me more money, too. I can't run a charity. I get that. You're talking to a business major. I get that very much. I understand that. But sometimes when you get involved in emotions, it gets more complicated. It's something like Mr. Spock said, Star Trek. He said, emotions only make things illogical because your emotions get in the way. That's true, Mr. Spock. They do get in the way, but you know what? At the same time, they are also something that humans are emotional people. So we don't have the teachings of Surak being taught in our lives on Earth. It's not a thing in the world, on Earth. They don't have the teachings of Surak saying, controlling and repressing your emotions. It's just not a thing. Okay? There is. Just like the cat here. Let's talk about this guy for a minute. Everybody asks me about Rusty. Rusty, I am entrusted to this cat because I took him on as a kitten. And he has, because of that, because he's entrusted to me by the powers to be, whoever they may be. I don't know who they are. But this cat, I've taken on the responsibility of being a cat owner. I have to make sure that he's provided for example. I know Mr. Spock was going to say, well, just go ahead and find a home for him, Captain. It's only logic. Like, it's not logic at all, buddy. Sorry, Mr. Spock. Emotions have nothing, logic has nothing to do with it. It has to do with the fact that I said I do what I did. Okay? So, just like I said, if I move anywhere, a cat has to come with me. I'm responsible for his well-being. Or I have to find a good, safe environment for him. But he grew up here from a kitten, too. He came here in July of 2012. Dory brought him over here. Yeah, I didn't forget, Rusty. Dory brought him over here. He's a little scrapper, too. He was a tough little kitty. But the point is I am responsible for the things that I do. So where do we stand with the housing? Try to negotiate, see if I can work a deal with them out somehow. And like I said to the person I was talking to, I said, this apartment was chosen by me. And there's a lot of reasons why I have tried to stay here. One of them is emotional, but the other one is practicality. I have established my studio here. And with my disabilities, I have adapted things to work properly for me, to communicate, and to speak out to the public, or to private on the phones. What am I going to do if I have to start all over from scratch? People don't realize that, for example, the clawfoot bathtub, it's not a convenience. The tub makes it possible for me to get in and out of a bath, which is important because even before I had significant hip injury, I could not get out of a fiberglass tub very well. At all. Not at all. Because even as a teenager, we had the same tub at my parents' house. We get out of the tub, we grab onto both sides of the tub, one hand on each side, grip in the sucker, and lift ourselves out of the tub. That's how we've done it. That's how we do it. It's been easy. The way you have to get out of a fiberglass tub is much different. You have to scooch your little leggies underneath you and basically get yourself out like a scissor jack. That's good if you got good knees and good hips. But if you got bad hips, bad knees, that ain't happening. Okay? There are ways we can adapt the modern tub. I know you can get those little hand sucky cuppies that go on the wall that you can use to get in and out. Nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing. Except, can you support my weight? Well, I never had any of those sucky cuppies to tell you if it will support my weight or not. But the thing is that I hate those tubs. And I hate them bad. Because the fact is that, number one, is I never feel there's enough water in them. Plus, this tub also has a hand sprayer on it, which turns out to be great for washing your hair and cleaning other parts of your body. Do I need to go into details? Let's just put it this way. Cleaning my backside is a lot easier. So, and of course, the way the spiritual energy flows in this building. The spiritual energy, that's the thing that was the thing that drew me here. This apartment was the psychic energy in this apartment was happy energy that resonated and said, very welcoming, very much said, "Hey, Michelle, congratulations, come on in, the water's fine." Well, most of them have been here for 17 years. I'm not exactly in a rush to move out. No, Michelle's not likely to move out. Unless you get a really, 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 really good deal. Yeah, but besides that, the fact that 17 years in place, you start to develop of attachment to it. That's something that's always, so I mean, the attachment part thing is key. So as far as what was going on with Jmac Oregon Stream, what they were talking about on that stream, I have no idea what that's about. But at least I can say I'm A-okay. I'm A-okay. I got a place to go. I got a place to call home. This is it. I mean, could I move? I don't know. Got a lot of emotions attached up in this place. I set this, it took 17 years to set this up to work with my disabilities and to work with my workflow. This is my home. I don't know how many people but get so emotional about an apartment. But I mean, I lived in a couple places in the past. That I mean, after you live in a place for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, you start to feel like you've left your mark on it. Your spiritual welcome mat that's in front of the door that says, happiness lives here. Even if happiness is an old creaky woman that basically does a YouTube channel every day. And of course for the landlord, it's rent. He's getting paid. Let's be honest. If I moved out, how long is it going to take him to find another renter? I don't know. Week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month, maybe 3 months. But is that person going to be a good tenant? So let's just say he doesn't find a renter for 3 months. That's 3 months with no rent at all. He doesn't get any money coming in whatsoever. Unless he does find somebody. And the person turns out to be a really bad tenant. And they don't pay the rent. And basically now he has to evict them. Now he has to file evictions on them. What did he gain? Nothing. And in a minute, he goes into his housing authority and files evictions, and then they come up with a laundry list of things that are wrong. And the next thing you know, Jimmy's like, oh, I really wish I had negotiated with Michelle. Because Michelle never complained to anybody about the building. In fact, many times Michelle would do little repairs on her own. Here, fix this, put this new door hinge on, whatever. Never ever questioned me like this. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to keep looking for housing, yes, but I want you to also to keep me in your prayers, okay? We'll see what happens. As I said, there's a lot more involved than just renting an apartment. I want you to think about that. For now, everybody, thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.